mission, on mission. Trying to get it right. Transition. Changing the way that I see life. Transition mind. I'm on a mission. On a mission. Trying to get it right. I'm transitioning my life. Making a transition. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Making a transition. Ooh, 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 ooh. Making a transition. Ooh, 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 ooh. Making a transition. Trying to mission, a mission. I'm on a mission. On a mission. I'm trying to get it right. Changing the way that I see life. Transition in my life. On a mission. On a mission. On a mission.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Alchemizing Energy, aka DJ Genesis Detroit, and we are once again here on this beautiful Sunday with Baba Yashabiyah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So we've had like a lot of different. I've been on different panels discussing different things. I went over to Saad Nitter. His wife was actually doing a debate about a sacrifice. Does God require sacrifice? She was doing that debate with I guess and basically she was saying that God does require sacrifice according to the Bible, and the other guy was saying, well, so it was a pretty interesting debate that they had.
Go back and repeat that statement. What did she say took place in the Bible?
That in the Bible that she was talking about how God required sacrifice, different types of sacrifice of children, of this, that, the other. So that was a very interesting debate that was had yesterday.
And what was the final sums of, because that's a pretty sticky area.
Well, I think that the crowd kind of agreed about that in the Bible it says that. It don't make sense, right?
No, it don't, because
I want you to come up here, Oaspi, because do you know what I didn't get to see the whole debate because I was actually doing a show. Did you get to see the debate about the sacrifice? I think it was even talking about human sacrifice at some point. She was saying that God requires sacrifice, human sacrifice, something like that.
Before we get started into our show, the question is this: if this God is all knowing and all powerful, why would he need sacrifice? What is the purpose of human sacrifice? Because the only sacrifice that really was, now I know the story about Abraham and his son, before they offered up his son. That was an act of faith. But the only thing it required was the act for Ishmael was circumcision, the sacrifice of the foreskin. That was required by Abraham, was offered that up. But my point is, why would an all-knowing God, loving, want you to offer sacrifice when he controls life and death? And what's the benefit behind it? I mean, everything that's done is done for some kind of junk outcome. So sometimes a lot of them died because of lack of disobedience. Which is the golden calf, 22,000 was dropped. That's because of disobedience. But now there are certain things that was created in ritual among the 613 laws, where they had to call the scapegoat and the sacrificial goat and all these things. Well, these things were brought in the thing, but if you're going to look at a spiritual level, he requires none, because in the book of Jeremiah, he said, "You'll burn offers and sacrifices I don't want." So now what are you going to do about that?
Right. So I'm going to play a little bit of it.
I really don't want to give up, but as my
I'm
experience,
not going to give it too much time on this, but I
just understand why would they get into debate about that?
Hey, Professor X, how's it going? Professor X, did you get to see the debate yesterday with Nepal about the does God want?
Why would it depend? What God are you talking about?
I think it's the God of the Bible. It's the God of the Bible.
But what you realize is more than one God in the Bible.
See,
People don't realize that. When you talk about God, that's a generic term. But God has to have a name, a personal pronoun. That's a generic term, God. That's what you feel. The word God did not exist in the ancient time because there was no generic term available at that time. It was especially in the Paleo Hebrew, it was called Alahayam.
So I'm gonna play a little bit of it so we can get it, because I mean I think that's because in our religion we do have sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's an interesting topic to discuss the sacrifice that you do have to do, but like I think it's in a different context, and I think that people, when they think about our religion, I think that they are thinking that these sacrifices are specific for one thing versus another. So I wanted to like kind of get a little bit into that. We did have a person that was going to join us at some point and to talk about. You can't hear me?
I'm hearing you. I hear you.
Oh, you're reading?
I'm just checking out the information.
Here we go.
That's only he desired to bring suffering onto the disobedient Israelites for continuing on and on to keep on sinning. And that is human life, and that is human sacrifice. Ryan, haram is human sacrifice. When the Most High kills, when there is evil done in idolatry, a sacrifice must be done for that sin. You sound ridiculous saying, oh, just because God killed them because they sinned, that's not a sacrifice. That's the whole point of the covenant. Blood pays for sin, Ryan. Animal blood pays for some sin, but murder, idolatry, adultery, only human blood must be the sacrifice. Let me say that again. Murder, idolatry, okay? Adultery, there is no animal sacrifice. It must be a human's blood that must be shed. So the Most High is telling him, I would rather you all just be destroyed since you're not listening. You're not doing what I say. Finally, Jonah disobeyed the Most High. Let me get this out. Jonah was a human sacrifice. He was on the boat. He didn't go do what the Most High said. The guys were on the boat saying, oh my gosh, what's going on? He said, you got to throw me over. Because Ryan said, you don't see anything in the Bible where the Most High is appeased. I already showed many, but this is one last one. When they threw Jonah into the sea to his death, he was a human sacrifice. Oh, but Jonah survived. It doesn't matter. Jonah was thrown to his death. He only survived because he repented. He begged. He was in the belly of this fish. And that is a symbol of Sheol anyway, and death. So when Jonah was thrown overboard, he appeased the Most High and the waves were calmed. Human sacrifice. It comes in many different forms, but it is throughout this Bible. And for someone to say that they believe in Jesus as the blood human sacrifice is strange, because that is the paramount. That is the apex. It is a culmination that goes up to the final sacrifice. You believe that Jesus is God. God became human. He didn't become a cow. He didn't become a goat. He didn't become a sheep. He became human to die, because that blood, certain blood has to be shed for certain sins. And human blood is shed for idolatry, adultery, and what else? Murder. So thank you. That's a human sacrifice.
Why am I laughing? Why am I laughing? 2 Chronicles 7:14. Will you pull it up?
Okay.
Also Isaiah 45:7. This is the prophet Isaiah talking. Give me the King James Version, if you don't mind. That's the NIV. Give me the KJV.
I have King James selected, but then it'll still give me NIV.
Yeah, it's going to carry you through all of them. Let's go up to the KJV. Okay. Now, I want you to look at something very simple. It says, if my people, which are called by, note this, if my people, comma, which are called by my name, comma, shall humble themselves, comma, and pray, comma, and seek my face, comma, and turn from their wicked ways, colon, then will I hear from heaven, and I will forgive their sins, and I will heal the land. Where did it say sacrifice at? All you got to do is hear, repent of your wrong, and I will hear you, and I will remember your sins no more. Isaiah 45:7.
So okay, you saying you adding? Wait, oh wait, are you saying Baba's adding, or are you saying that's what she's saying?
No, I'm not at anything. There it is.
Oh, if he said facts, Baba. Okay, I was gonna say, wait a minute. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
no,
Okay.
he read it exactly how it was in the book. I thought that you said okay. So
No. No.
okay, all right, okay, my bad.
Yeah. Let's go to Isaiah 45.
Oh, what's up? I'm sorry, my bad. So I'm sorry. You know, I'm thinking Professor X from what's that group? Public Enemy.
Yeah.
Isn't there like a Professor X in Public Enemy?
Maybe.
Hey, what's up, Bob? So I want you to come up. Come up, Queen, if you can. I'm gonna put the thing down here. But so I wanted to get a little bit into this whole thing with sacrifice, because a lot of the times when they think about IFA religion, they always get into the X Clan, Professor X Clan. Yeah, okay, that's our X Clan. But when they talk about sacrifice, people always think that we're over here like killing goats and this, that, the other. And I actually had a whole situation where I had people in my house when a sacrifice was made at my house, you know, and they were talking about how the guy was whirling, the Babalao was whirling the chicken above his head like a helicopter and slammed it down, and isn't it supposed to be humane and this, that, the other. You know, and so it's just interesting how you have the Bible, you have people, Christians that are debating human sacrifice in the Bible, but then at the same point they think that even in African traditions that there's human sacrifice. And I just wanted to kind of get into that, like when it comes down to the different sacrifices that are involved in like the Ifa and Yoruba, Voodoo, Congo religions, you know, most African religions, and compared to, you know, the Christian and Abrahamic faith. Okay, he's looking through his book trying to find something.
Who's that?
Are you looking through your book?
I was going back because you have to realize those various writers and translators. Now Isaiah 45:7.
Oh, okay. Bring up Isaiah 45:7. Okay.
Yeah.
This thing's acting weird. Let me
also bring up Jeremiah. When I go back, pick up old boy Jeremiah. Jeremiah was a bullfrog. 7 and 18. Then we go to 10.
Okay.
Okay.
I form light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things.
Now, how do you interpret that?
That God can be good and God could be evil.
Yeah. Okay. So now, if you're going to do the evil thing and God can punish you because he controls all that, I form the light and create the darkness. I make peace and I create evil. I do all these things.
Right.
Who you gonna blame for your bad habits?
Huh.
Not
and
only
see
that, and what people don't read, when you look at the Barada Shah, the New Testament, it ain't talking about the same God. Oh, it ain't. What's the name of the God? What's the name of the God in the Old Testament? It ain't Jesus. Look at
Is
John.
it Yahweh?
And ain't none of that. It ain't none of that. Look at John 3:6. The word is theo. In the Greek, God name is the name is theo. Why you call it theology? You study of Greek gods.
John 3:16.
John 17 said, I reveal your name unto them. So Jesus told them the name of the Father. They deleted it out of the book. He never said that he was the God. He required nothing. That's why I tell people you got to get the book called The Gospel of Barnabas. They took it out. They lied, and then not only that, you get to realize that Jesus had a twin brother, according to the narrative of the story.
He had a twin brother?
He has a print. Anybody studied the National Library or the other Bible know that Jesus had a identical twin brother.
What?
Do I need to get the book?
Yes, you gotta show me the wait. You said Jesus had a twin brother? What? Okay. That's crazy, okay?
Most of your so-called Gnostics supposed to know this. Let me go in this good. Let me go in here. It's under the Gospel of Thomas. Let's see. Well, let's see here. The book of Thomas the Contender, and it says the book of Thomas. The book of Thomas. This is from the Nag Hammer.
Oh, the Nag Hammadi.
Well, I'm pronouncing it wrong. This is what it says. And if you look at in John, the word didymus means twin. Look at in the book of John where he talk about them meeting. It says the book of Thomas the Contender is the seventh and last thesis of the Codex, second of the Coptic notice. It says it reveals a dialogue between the resurrected Jesus and his twin brother Judas Thomas.
So Thomas's name in Aramaic
means twin. Thomas in the Arabic means twin. That's why he was seeing in places at the same time. Well, I was just that's because he got a twin brother, and he started a church and went down south in Syria. According to the deal, find this thing called the one called the other Bible. One of the people.
You know, I want to show you how. I want to show you guys how they try to trick you too. Let me show you how AI does, y'all. All right. So I said, did Jesus have a twin? Right. So AI says, no, Jesus does not have a literal twin brother. While the apostle Thomas' name in Aramaic means twin, and some Gnostic texts suggest a twin relationship, there is no credible evidence or historical basis for this claim. Honey, there's no credible evidence or historical.
In my hand, it says from the book of Thomas the Contender.
This is AI though.
Okay, is the seventh last thesis in the Codex 2 of the Coptic Gnostic Library from the Nag Hammer Library. It reveals a dialogue between the resurrected Jesus and his twin brother Judas Thomas. I mean, who you gonna believe this? You gonna believe this bullshit here, or what's in the book?
No, but I just wanted to show you guys how, because listen, it said this up here. No, but then the more you go down, it says Gnostic texts like the Acts of Thomas portray Thomas as Jesus's twin. Sometimes even suggestion he was crucified in Jesus's place.
Yeah.
Oh, let me tell you how AI, if you don't keep going deeper, it'll have you thinking one thing. So you gotta be very careful about using AI to get information. You need to read books as well.
Let's go to the book, and then we're gonna proceed on to what we're gonna get off into. In the book of St. John, in the book of John, it talks about it called Thomas, doubting Thomas.
So does that mean that his twin brother could have died in his place, and then Jesus could have continued to live on?
According to Hugh J. Schoenfield, it's called the Passover plot by Hugh J. Schoenfield. That's exactly what happened.
Huh.
It's called the Passover plot by Hugh J. Schoenfield, the Passover plot. And not only that, the Christian writers fabricate the story, because if you look at why he was brought to trial, was not because he went against the government. He was teaching against did an insurrection against the government. He was tried for insurrection, not for coming down for nobody's sin. Matthew 20 was that St. Matthew, I think it's the 24th chapter. I look at the crucifixion of Jesus. The whole thing, he had a son in jail whose name was Barabbas Jesus, who they was keeping there, telling him, if you don't come in, we're gonna crucify your son. That was Barabbas. The word Barabbas means the son of Abba, Father. You put him up. What was his whole name? It was Barabbas Jesus. That was his son from the wedding at Canaan, where he was married to Mary Magdalene. He had a wife. You cannot step before the elders if you're not married, because married folks only talk to married folks. A single person could not sit in the council and discuss nothing with the elders unless you were married. That's Jewish law, customs and traditions. So I studied with him. You could not set your butt all up. Nah, it ain't happening. It's called the Passover plot by Hugh J. Schoenfield.
So it says. So this is what this thing says. Okay, I'm not sure. Matthew tells us that the man's full name was Jesus Barabbas, which means Jesus, son of the Father. He was a violent rebel who fomented an insurrection against the Roman occupation,
right,
and who Matthew says was quite a popular figure.
Right. And they
so Jesus Christ and Jesus Barabbas, were those two different people or the same?
No, Jesus Barabbas is the son name. You keep reading down, because in Jesus, when they made the choice, because they wanted somebody going to keep raising hell. That's like Martin and Malcolm.
Okay.
Same
so
thing.
So that's
okay?
like a very a common theme.
It
sounds like
you got one guy's talking about peace. Let's go to war.
So this is something that happens on a regular basis. You'll have that.
Yeah, right. That's nothing new. That was nothing new. And we want to make it, and the Christian writer was trying to make it be something that it was not. He said he was what? Tried for insurrection, not for dying for the sins of the world. Ezekiel 18th chapter, verse 1. Will you go there? Get it, let me know.
Trying to get the King James.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me zoom in so you guys can see it too.
Okay.
All right. So the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, what mean ye that ye use the proverb concerning the land of Israel, saying, the father has eaten sour grapes, and the children's teeth are set on edge?
As I live, saith the Lord God, comma, you shall not have an occasion anymore to use this proverb in Israel, period. Behold, all souls are mine, comma, as the soul of the Father, comma, so also the soul of the Son is mine, colon. So the soul that sinneth, comma, it shall die. But if a man be just and do that which is lawful and right, comma, and eat not upon the mountains, neither has lifted up his eyes unto idols of Israel, comma, neither
the house of Israel, neither has defiled. Okay.
Yeah, whole thing. Now go to 24:16 of the Deuteronomy 24:16. And this is what the Lord talking. Yeah. Deuteronomy 24:16. I think it says.
The father shall not be put to death for the children, neither shall the children be put to death for the fathers. Every man shall be put to death for his own sin.
That's the law. What is she coming about driving another man's sin? That's irresponsible. That's in the law. That's among the 613 laws of a Jewish law canon. Isaiah 45 and 6. Get me started. So these folks, they play too much.
That they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none beside me. I am the Lord, and there is none else.
That's none else. 40. Go to verse 48. 46, 47, 48.
What, Isaiah 45 and 6 or 47, 48?
No, 45 and let's go through 7, all the way through 7. Go through 8. I'm going through 8.
I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. Drop down, ye heavens, from above, and let the skies pour down righteousness. Let the earth open, and let them bring forth salvation, and let righteousness spring up together. I, the Lord, have created it.
Right. Let's try 44 and 6. See what that come up with. I'm thinking about something to see if he's going to come up and say that. 44, 6.
Thus said the Lord, the King of Israel, and his Redeemer, the Lord of hosts. I am the first, I am the last. Beside me, there is no God.
And there's one part saying, I will not give my glory to another. I'm the Lord thy God. I will not give my glory to another, to graven images or anything. So my question is, where they get stuff in the Beretta Shaw that Jesus, and nothing is, you find out that David was called the one of the begotten sons. How can be one got the word begot? That ain't what's in that text. You got two words, Julios and not Julios, and what's the other one? Go to Julios, and that's another word for son. Julios. Let me get my book. Shit, I got it right here. Y'all are sons. He says, for as many by the list, they are the sons of God. There are many sons. Remember, the sons of God came before God in the book of Job, and the devil came. So what about them sons? What about the sons of God in over there in Genesis? Huh? So people, you tend to get emotionally lost in the maze of emotions, and you're not looking what's there. Where did the word sin come from? Because the word was abomination. It was not, because sin is something you find in archery when you miss the mark. Sin is an archery word. When you find that bow and arrow and you miss the bullseye, they call that sin. The word was abomination. In go to John 20, 24. I'm going to show you something. John 20, 24. Then we're going to get off of this Bible scourge. So all these folks out there claim they know, and they don't know the book because they have not done the research on the book. We read it to do quotateology and cherry pick. You got to study this bad boy. And it's not written in a chronological order. It's all over the place. As a matter of fact, many of the New Testament are letters to individuals. They are the 27 books of Paul, the letters of Paul. Those are letters, those are epistles, those are letters. They're not to an individual. I mean, not to a group, it's to a particular individual of people or a group of people, not to everybody. We've adopted a lot of things out of this book to make it for everybody. It is not for everybody. Why it says in Amos, you and you alone have I chosen above all nations of the earth. What kind of God choose everything everybody is and got one set of people he looks to? He told you a while ago. If my people are called by my name, name me one group that's named after the God of the Bible. Name me one. Name me one. He ain't no Hebrew Israelite. You gonna it's Jehoshua. Come on, people, got to do better than that. Because in Exodus, the 3rd chapter, verse 14, it says that they said, I am that, but that was which means his name is Yah. Y-A-H, Psalm 68 and 4. He's to be recognized by that. The same God there is the same God in Deuteronomy 33:26. He said, I am the God of Yashabiyah. Okay, who rise above the clouds and call my name. So who calls his name? Jehovah, Yehoshua, Yahweh. Those are not it. Then he got a name called Tetragrammatron. Are you familiar with that one? The sacred name called Tetragrammatron. Y'all out there playing with yourself. You're getting an intellectual masturbation and you're not following your emotions. Go run the record. Do the damn research, people. Quit getting tricked. And remember, this is a version. This is not authentic. There is no original copy of this book. There's no original manuscript. Sister Genesis asked, is there an original manuscript of the King James Bible? See what it tell you. If AI don't screw it up. But I do want to go to John 20:24 when you come back. I know y'all ain't only for this because we talk about this is what I love about IFA. You don't play no games. I mean, people, please. Okay. No, there was no original handwritten manuscript. You see that? Would you please read that? Sister, will you please read that?
I'm sorry, my head might go on mute. Okay, though there is no original handwritten manuscript of the King James Bible in existence today, while King James Version was translated by a committee of scholars and clergymen in a few drafts and manuscripts from that period are known to exist, the original documents from which the 1611 edition was printed are lost to time.
So why you check? It's a version. It's a version.
The King James Bible was a translation, not an original work.
That's right.
It was translated from an existing Greek and Hebrew text, including the Masoretic text from the Old Testament.
On another man's damn opinion and idea. It's right there in your face. Is it salt or sugar? Which is it? Salt or sugar? Tell me. They look alike. Do you taste it? The one I told you the other night, we've studied everything from aardvark to zebra, definitely this damn book, and all phases of it. Because 8.9 billion folks believe that this is the word of God. It is not the word of God. Here we go. But Thomas 1 of 12 called, note the word dynamis, okay? The key word is dynamis. Look that word up. What the word dynamis means? It didn't say dynamis, it's dynamis. What does dynamis mean?
Didymus is a Greek name meaning twin and is famously associated with the Apostle Thomas in the New Testament.
But they say no, right? Why is it in your damn book if he wasn't what he said he was? Documentation beats all bullshit conversation. Your book say it. It's in the book. AI said that right there in the definition. And you're gonna argue with that? Please. I done told these folks I ain't the one. Don't bring me that them whoop cookies. We ain't buying today.
So I just want to, I just thought it was an interesting subject to like kind of get into,
It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
You're arguing about something you have not done the etymology, timeline, chronology, and linguistics of what you're talking about.
Mm.
We get excited because, like I told you when we first started, our people have been looking for an identity and get the approval or sanctioned by somebody else that you all are that. So they start feeding us all these wolf cookies and yeah, you this, you that, and other. And they know good and darn well that stuff won't fit. But we buy into it without doing the research. We run on a thing called blind faith. You know, if it sounds good, look good, I want it. When you know it ain't what you thought it was. It ain't doing what you thought it was going to do. So the show today was going to be about IFA. IFA is about personal elevation, not about what house you belong to or what I'm trying to be an initiated. It means you learn how to communicate with the celestial side to make your life better. Why I went from worrying about whether I'm going to be Santero or Kundule or Apollo, I became a universal IFA priest. I'm an ascending master. I ain't got to be out no whole lot of money because I understand what it's all about. And the Jews do the same thing. The Jews do the same thing at certain times of year. I think a Rosh Hashanah, they take a chicken and they cleanse people with the chicken, then they kill it at the crossroad. Who else do that? It's done in a lot of the camps in Nepal. They practice Nepal. You didn't know that, right? Sister Monica? Sister Monica? Hello. Every year, the so-called Zionist Jews are Ashkenazis buy up a whole bunch of chickens, and they go out and they cleanse the folks and kill the chickens at the crossroads. I don't know all the people about who have not done the research. I don't have what you believe. I speak you know. What can you document and with paperwork to back it up?
I'm sorry, I had to go grab some water.
I understand.
Yeah, they do that cleanse with the chicken. They do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So all I can say, now, I'm not asking you to believe nothing I just said. Please don't do the damn research and then run the timeline on it and see. First and foremost, Jesus was tried for insurrection because he went against the government, turned the tables over. His son was out there raising hell. They captured his son. They said, if you don't come in, we're going to kill your son. That's what it says in the Passover plot. He went and turned himself in. That's why they made say, do y'all want Jesus, called the Christ, or Barabbas, the insurrectionists? They said, give us Barabbas. Why? Because they was fighting for their rights. They wanted their human rights, and the government wasn't giving it to them. During the same time of that, they had crucified, read that 500 already been crucified in the city on the cross. So it stunk so bad you couldn't get within miles of it from the dead bodies and carcasses. That's why they call it Skull Hill. They didn't tell you that, did they? He was approached by Peter. Matthew, I think it's Matthew 16:20. He says that I am not the Messiah. What? You ain't him? John asked, are you the Messiah? Should we look for another? So it's always been questioned, what was your purpose in coming and who are you? That's why poor John was so-called beheaded. Remember, the last thing he said was in prison. Well, he said, are you the Messiah? Should we look for another? Now here's a man who went baptized a man. You don't know who you baptized? When is common sense gonna kick in, people? They thought it was Elijah return for a long time. Why did they question his identity? Because they knew the man had a twin brother. No one probably said gonna be twin, unless you're talking about celestial. You know, they call him Gemini. We call him Ebeji. Because like God said, this has got a lot of astrology in it. A lot of this is dealing with celestial changes. Yeah. You get this stuff all bamboozled and mixed up. IFA is a person. That's right. It's about the individual. It's not about what house you go join and what club or what frat or what sorority you want to be one member of. It's about you perfecting your walk to fulfill your purpose and your assignment that you chose when you left the celestial realm called the Dianosphere. You came to make this world a better place, and we failed miserably. Got here and got lost in the BS.
Can you explain even what the role of a Babalao is in helping, or a priest in helping you to stay on track and get on track? Like, what are the readings for?
He more or less is a guide or a medium, a teacher or instructor to help you find it and then give you your directions to help you to reach your perfection. But he can't do it for you. We can only go and check your celestial chart and see what the plan was when you left to reconnect you, because between the celestial realm and the Dinosphere and the biosphere, you lost your commitment. Our job is to get you reconnected with, so you can have an easier travel and fulfill your purpose and an assignment. And that's why certain Orisha comes in, because they govern certain energies. That's why there is no devil in IFA, because you don't need no devil. Everything is about balance, balancing your celestial and your terrestrial, because you are a dual person operating in a parallel universe, a duality. And in doing so, you walk in two sides of the street at the same time. And his job is to, but somebody saw a way to make some money, so they started adding a lot of this, that, and the other. And what bothered me, you can't find not one or two free Bible laws that's consistent on what that thing says. That's why you got every person that learns, you need to keep a catalog, a ledger, and write down what IFA says when you did your reading, because Orumila do speak to his what you call them, his children, or people that reach out. He denies none. Mm-hmm. You come looking, color your skin don't mean nothing if you're sincere, because the main thing is your spiritual walk. First spiritual, then natural. And you can't walk natural until you understand your spiritual. And most of us don't. We're so busy worrying about the house and not what the house is built on. That's why I became a universal IFA priest. That way I'm not worried about, well, you can't do that because you ain't got, man, the hell with you. If I get all this, what kind of power can I raise the dead? Can I heal the sick? Can I fix my people's problem? What am I, because most people got all this and there's no attack. I did it, you did it, yeah, but we got all these pots, buckets and stuff out here that y'all see my other room. When it's all said and done, has it moved us forward as a nation? Has it unified us? We're more divided now than here's your time. Because everybody won't think that their house is right. And none of the damn house is right. If we're not leading the folks to where they meet their divine purpose and doing their job, but that's why I read now, as the wall said, why we got mental illness. Because the people we're dealing with ain't the same folks started out with. You got all kind of beings on the planet, and they ain't got a clue about what spirituality is. Test tube, baby, in vitro fertilization, semen, and all the other stuff. Now Elon Musk is trying to create a machine you hear about that, right?
The machine that had the babies inside of it?
No, if you're trying to deal with the spirituality, Elon Musk is working
on telekinesis. He actually got the patent for telekinesis.
Okay. Now who is this joker? And what planet did he come from? Come here jacking with stuff.
But I'm how can you patent telekinesis when it's already something embedded in your brain?
What did
so what will he be able to do? Will he be able to block the telekinesis on the people that have it, since he owns the patent for it, and say that only
patent, because remember, telekinesis is an energy. He don't own SHI. He's telling folks that He can't own it. It's not for him to own.
He would have to have something to block it in people, because I know I have a certain level of telekinesis that I
What
do.
is he gonna block? You talking about how many billion people on the planet? How's he gonna block all that?
But I think that, listen, I think that people don't even realize black people already do telekinesis with each other.
Been doing it. It's built in our DNA.
Man, sometimes you could be in a room and somebody start doing some wild shit. You'll look over at somebody and it's almost like y'all look at each other and shake y'all head. That's telekinesis. Y'all both are sending each other. What the fuck is wrong with this person right here?
Yeah.
And you don't have to say nothing, but you that thought went across the room. Both of y'all are looking at each other and both said, "What the heck?" You know what I'm saying? People, we do it all the time. We don't even realize we're doing it. There's time where you can look at your child and it's doing something wrong, and the baby knows. Let me stop doing what you do. You think it's because that's telekinesis. That's a form of telekinesis.
I thought my mama had eyes in the back of her damn head. Shit, had me scared to death. Shit, boy, I can't do shit. She see everything. She be at work and when I'm doing it at the house. What the heck?
What you doing? I just got a feeling you doing something. What are you doing? Yeah.
Hey, Monica, JoJo, get that little nasty girl out of my house. Where you
at? You got a camera up in here?
I know because I definitely got in the house. So who told you? Shit. Man, this stuff was beyond phenomenal, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And our government back during the World War was taking our remote viewing gift that we have, clairvoyancy, and they was framing it and making it into a weapon. We have that gift. You understand? We could look across the water at other people and tell what they were doing.
One of the most profound things I heard in this practice is that you have been told the whole time, your whole life, you have been told, but you just don't listen.
That's right.
So there's a voice that you hear. I mean, everybody don't have that voice. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't have that inner dialogue.
That still small voice. You hear him, but you ain't listening. And that's the downfall of most people. They hear to argue and debate and get emotional, but they ain't listening to learn to elevate. That's what I like about this program. We're not here to debate or argue with you. We're here to elevate you. If once you take what you got and use it, if it helps you to grow, fine, but don't, still fine.
Ospie says that Elon Musk is influenced by a being. What kind of a being?
That's right. He's tied to the reptilians. He's tied to the reptilians.
Wow.
And they finding that out. He was trying to find his way to get in.
They're using a satellite.
Yep. And look, not only that, he was trying to get into the White House because he couldn't go in because he's not a citizen. So he came through the back door, but it collapsed on him. But like I told you, ain't none of them. He's talking about cloning. Cloning been done years ago. They started that first sheep.
Wait, so y'all think that Neuralink, he's linking that Neuralink and there's something communicating him through the satellites? Or you mean that he'll be able to influence telekinesis using the satellite? I don't know if he gets the patent, if they allow him to get the patent on that is crazy.
Yeah, but the patent don't mean that you control it. Telekinesis is an energy. How's he going to bottle it up and direct it and guide it? It ain't like a microwave.
I don't
remember
know.
The earth has
once you have the patent for something, that means you can stop other people from using it.
Yeah, but think about it. How you gonna stop that 9 billion folk were doing what
probably by creating some type of technology that blocks it.
Well, how you gonna block it? With what?
I think that's
telekinesis. Everything you call it what they call it, instinct. Reading, picking up on things.
Using the internet to get into people's houses and businesses.
Yeah, but at the same time, who said it won't bounce back and bite him in the butt?
I don't think he cares. I think that you know what? I think that that's why he was trying to get into the government. That's probably why he was trying to even be a part of the government, because so he can get access to everybody's information and then be able to like backdoor and get into whatever this Neuralink stuff is. He's getting, I think he wants to like create people to be robots. I think he's trying to get us out of our natural mind.
What did he say about the white man when he under that old dude he came in the world under? It's in the book. He wants to be a god.
Yeah, that's one of the old dudes, right? Is that?
And that's in IFA, and that's under that old dude. That is his mindset when he was trying to duplicate what old Damari was doing. An issue came in and held him up, but he didn't stop trying to do it. He's still trying to do it. Been trying to do it throughout the ages. It's called a science of eugenics, a gene splitting, alterations, the whole thing. That is one of his main things, to create a superhuman. What was Hitler trying to do? Raise a blonde, blue-eyed race of superhumans. That's nothing new. And every time they do, guess what? Mother Nature jacks it up. She's not going to let them do what she do. You might get close, but you will not get close enough, because she'll change the whole pattern. And if you don't have between now and 2030, he gonna be shit. Excuse me, I'm gonna be shit out of luck. Because the earth's gonna change vibrations again.
Yeah, I heard that at some point, I think on the 25th, the earth kind of it had some kind of a wave where it just went like blunt, took a break or something like that. Like
Baby,
it didn't.
A whole lot. That's what you got to study the celestial realm. Study this thing with the moon. Don't worry about the sun, because they done create an artificial sun. The big deal now is that moon.
Oh no! You hear about Bill Gates? He's trying to actually block out the sun.
Well, they already got a deal to do that with. What you looking at is not the original sun. You're getting a reflection.
A reflection? How?
Because it's like anything else. You can put that like that silver deal and get a reflection, bounce that light off another object. You can intensify it, Lord. That's what Tesla was doing when Tesla was living. Tesla was dealing with frequencies and vibrations and reflectors. That's why him and what McCullough got into it. Look up Tesla. Because Tesla he named it after Tesla, but Tesla was a bad boy. When it comes,
they said that he was actually from another planet.
You got a lot of folks on other planets down here, goddess. I'm telling y'all that. What you think you're seeing and what you're seeing. Look beyond the veil. Look at that mannerism. We've been watching these folks since like 1997, when they really started showing their hands.
He can fine-tune the frequency of the internet Starlink router to communicate with our mind.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's what that thing is. Okay.
Okay. Good. Thank you. Appreciate that info.
So that's a part of that Neuralink. Because you know what? So this is what I heard. Okay, so check this out. What they're trying to do is so they have G6. What's it called? G6, G5 internet. The next G6 or what's it called? Is it E6? Whatever the.
Yeah, they're talking about G6 now, but they're talking about that and going up.
And it's supposed to be going a part of our body, like they're using us as the actual connection or something like that. Our body as the connection of G6 or something like that. Like whatever our vibration is. So they're really starting to get really overly advanced with a lot of this. And
what normally happens when man get over advanced, he collapse. Been through history, he collapsed. The shit falls apart. Because you're only gonna go so far. Because there is a collective energy group that's watching everything. They tell you that. You get on it so far. Did you get a chance to look up Credo Mantui?
Credo Mutwa. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
I was gonna play this while I'm looking that up. Hold on, let me look it up.
Okay, yeah.
To make this decision. So Bill Gates has just been approved to go ahead with spraying his chemical aerosols into the atmosphere, the chemtrails, that literally are going to create clouds and block out the sun reaching Earth for climate change. This is the biggest load of BS that I've ever seen, and I can tell you why. The sun is not dangerous at all. If anything, the sun is the human population's best vitamin. It powers your mitochondria, it powers your cells, it powers your body's batteries. Yet the UK and soon the world are going to play a giant experiment on you without your consent to block the sun from a fallacy they call global warming. They're pretty much going to bounce the sun back. Well, they're going to use aerosols to block the sun's rays. The sun's rays that come in, they're going to bounce it back into the atmosphere so that we don't warm the earth anymore. But you know what's going to happen? Hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people are going to die by a lack of sun exposure. The UK already has over 50% of their population vitamin D deficient. Vitamin D powers 2,000 of your genetic expressions. 2,000. You've got 21,000 genes. Around about 10% use vitamin D to talk to each other. Cellular communication. Please tell me who allowed Bill Gates into our world. Please tell me who's giving Bill Gates permission. Is it just a game of, if I've got money, I can do whatever I want, and even if I risk the entire human population? We need to stop this. Share this everywhere right now. If you're in the UK, sign petitions. Start being loud about this, because this does not end well.
So Credo Mutwa, he's the one who was talking about. Did you? Here he goes. This is Credo Mutwa.
Yeah.
The mother mind within every one of you human beings. Our people believe that every human being, male or female, has got two minds, the mother mind and the warrior mind. The warrior mind looks at things logically. The warrior mind says 2 + 2 is 4. But the mother mind says nothing of that kind. The mother mind, I don't know how I can explain. The mother mind does not think in a line way as warriors do. The mother mind thinks sideways, and upwards and downwards. We must awaken the mother mind within us. We must feel what is going on in the world. We mustn't just listen to newspapers. We must ourselves feel. It is said by the Zulu people that women think with their pelvic area.
Oh yeah, I love this brother too. I love this brother. Yeah.
We must think that way. I must no longer look at a tree, but I must see a living entity like me in that thing. I must no longer look at a stone, but I must see the future lying dormant in that stone. What minerals are there? We must think like grandmothers. That's all.
Love that.
You said Nikola Tesla. What did you say? The other thing you want me to look up?
Yeah, now Tesla. You know, Tesla was the one that was in battle with who was that?
Ford.
Yeah.
Or no?
There you go. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nikola Tesla.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of what I think. Elon is trying to become the next
Tesla.
But I don't think that he's the one that's actually creating all this technology.
No, but he's getting a label because he's in that vein. And like I tell everybody, he may plan, but over tomorrow unplanned. We got to always understand that. But just by the time you think you got it, it's gonna make a change. What he's talking about, we talked about the chemtrails 20 years ago when they was putting all these chemicals in the air. That is nothing new. Weather model is called HARP, HARRP, HARP. That's part of NASA thing they was doing, blocking out their mind control. We've been discussing this weather modification. And I said, have you noticed Years ago, you didn't trust the weatherman because he kept missing. Why is he so accurate now? Why is he so? Because years ago, they didn't trust the weatherman. They trust arthritis. Man, my big toe hurting. It's gonna rain. Or man, my eye twitching. Now, this took a damn that can pinpoint where it's gonna hit and when it's gonna hit. What happened? They can track a storm coming out of the Caribbean to exactly where it's headed to. But, come on, this is nature.
Because they're creating it. They're making it.
And they say they would seek Daniel 7:25. They'll seek and change the law and time. The law and time is the time and switches of the celestial world, and they did that. They changed the calendar and they changed the way we count time. So, like I tell you about it, the book has its pros and cons. You got to know how to read the code and how to put the puzzle together. And so far, myself and the young man last night, the Meatball, we called him. We all we did for almost 3 years, just study. We hardly ever went home. This is no lie, because he's a darn good cook. We stayed at the Knesset, our school, and all we did was study. We promised that we sat there and studied every day. I got tired of reading books, going through this book, that book, matching this up. Sometimes we have 4 and 5 books in front of us, cross-referencing the information to see how consistent it was. That's why I look at people and laugh. I said, well, you're trying to your own thoughts, but have you done the research? Well, I'm not what you believe. I don't believe shit. What do you know? Can you document where your source? You know, and that's why I enjoy being on your platform. You let us. I can tell people, I'm not here to debate nobody. If you want to debate, fine and good. But like John Henry say, I want to debate my equal with everybody else. I teach them. If you want to be taught, then move on. Because nothing you say and do have moved the black race any closer to achieving unity. We're the most ununified people they want to come up with because we have no cultural cohesiveness. You know, we can't buy a box of soda crackers without arguing over it. And that's sad. And they use that as a weapon of control because long they keep us fussing and arguing and kidding. Like the guy up there, I was watching some guy on some show. He up there threatening 607 to kill him. You saw that, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why would you threaten to kill him when you want to threaten to kill that white boy talking about your ass? You get mad at 607, but you won't get mad at the white boy.
Oh, yeah, 607. The guy reached across the table and was hollering and getting all crazy. Yeah, I'm like, really? You about to go back to prison, really, because of that?
You know, that's your emotion talking. There's nothing to stop him from popping that dude right because the man put it in your life right there in the public.
Yeah.
Stood up over the man. That's time I pop his ass in the throat and send him where he gotta go.
Right. You know, and I think that was a form of bullying. You know, and also like
the whole thing is about bullying. My name. Well, brother, I understand your name. Cool. But when a white man walk up, you get humble as a lamb.
Yep.
Because you know you can lock your butt up. Throw away the key.
Yeah, he wasn't jumping in the white dude's face like that. He jumping on his own brother like a black man.
You know why?
And then the brother saying 607 Uncle's like, you know, I love you, man. I love you, bro. And he's still jumping in his face. But he didn't do nothing he don't do nothing to the white. He actually is cooning for the white people. Yeah, whoever that guy's name is.
But what did I tell
4 Extra? I think his name is 4 Extra.
Yeah, but what I tell 607 a while back, don't pass your pearl before swine.
Yep.
For them old man, watch your back. You know, stay out of that, bag away. Man, okay, fame and fortune.
Don't listen.
It will get you whacked, man. Fame and fortune will mess you up. You know.
Yeah.
And the brother got a lot to say, and he's powerful, but he gonna let the enemy cheat him out of his purpose, and that's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
I want to show you this energy harvesting thing real quick.
Okay. 6G.
This is for people that don't know.
Scientists want to use people as antennas for their 6G so they can harvest our energy. Oh, Dracula, I see you. We are dealing with modern day vampires, y'all, and I'm not joking. They are literally harvesting our energy like we on some farm. We are the livestock, y'all. This ain't no joke. This ain't no game. They literally, by the hour, by the minute, draining our energy to use it for their advanced technology.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Then they said
6G is coming in 2030. That's the public launch. But testing began years ago in controlled zones across Virginia, Osaka, and EU smart grids. And here's what they won't tell you. 6G doesn't connect your phone. It connects you. In 2023, DARPA and ATIS ran a closed pilot across federal buildings in Northern Virginia. The tech? 6G presence nodes, powered by terahertz bands that don't just transfer data, they mirror you. Each user's gait, tone, even heart rhythm became part of the signal loop. The system adjusted light, sound, even push notifications based on real-time biometric drift. It's called adaptive ambient sync, and it's not theory. In the Arlington test zone, over 200 participants unknowingly entered what the internal logs labeled a behavioral sync cluster. Result? 68% changed walking pace within 90 seconds. 52% began mirroring posture. Average voice pitch dropped 12 hertz across the zone without prompt or audio cue. This isn't cellular, it's presence modulation, backed by Samsung's 6G white paper, verified in HexaX testbeds, and buried in Appendix 9 of the Defense Communications Futures Report, blackbarred until last quarter. You were never the user. You were the interface. Want out? Disrupt the loop, delay touch input, break rhythm, avoid high-band hotspots during emotional peaks. Because with 6G, you're not browsing. You're being tuned. Tuesday accessed the relay logs. They weren't encrypted because they assumed no one would read drift code but them. Now you have.
And that's why we need IFA.
That's scary, isn't it?
Huh?
That is scary.
Yeah, but the thing about it, I don't get bent out of shape behind that, because everything has to come through the celestial realm under a particular Odu. And within that Odu, all we just can find out when it was done and what Odu it came in under. And
right, did they launch it or something?
Yeah, and not on that, and what Orisha governs that energy. Remember, there's over 401 different Orishas out there. And we haven't begun to tap into them. They doing things true enough, but there is a energy that's controlled by the Orishas. I don't mean no zodiac and all that stuff. I'm talking about, we're talking about what each Orisha does and so forth and so on. So
could you get into that, like how the energy comes into existence through the Orisha and how it affects the energy? Like, for instance, books probably has no do. Actual book.
Anything that comes to the planet that the day of its origin and arrival on the scene that presented that particular day and time has an Odu. That Odu gives you the destiny, a purpose of that particular material. That's why you're able to deal with it. That's what I love about IFA, is that it gives you a starting point, and it is a roadmap or a guide to what's going to happen with that particular thing, entity, object while it's traveling. And that's why I tell people all the time, I don't get locked in the house. I ain't got time to all of that. Give me the date when this thing was initiated and copyrighted and brought in, and let's see what's going on. Then I look at the mind that was behind it. Most thing has an author. Who was the author and what was his sign while he was writing?
Let's do just for good measure. Let's do Elon Musk for right now.
Okay, let's pull up Elon Musk and get out your celestial chart.
Okay, just to give people an example of what this whole thing is, right?
Yeah.
Because when we just talk about IFA, just like people are like, okay, but when you actually put it into practice, okay. So his birthday.
There he is. Now you know June is the name of an individual, so there's nothing sacred in the name June, because then you got the 28 and 71. So on these on the celestial calendar, where did this particular month fall?
Hold on, let me look.
You pull your chart up, and then we show them out. And we're doing old school math on this, Monica.
Okay, so that's Yemoya.
Okay, Yemuja. Okay, what number is that? What number is Yemuja? I don't have
Yemoya is 4.
4. Okay, so we're gonna write 1971. Now, what day of the week did the 28th fall on in 71? We'll need that.
So right, so 1971. So what I do?
Okay. So what day did June the 28th come? What day of the week did it fall on?
Let me see. What day was it? Monday.
Okay, that was Monday. That would be Elegba. Okay. So we got Elegba, and we got, okay, so now we got 4. So that's Elegba's number on there is what? Well, we got the 28th, but we know it was only Elegba's day. So let's add it up. We got 1971, and you got 28, and you got what, 4, right? So we got Yemuja and we got Elegba. So let's
2003. So 1971 plus 28 plus 4 is 2003.
Okay, divided by 16. This is old school.
Is 125.1875.
Well, you're doing it old school. I get it down to a lower common denominator. You know, the old-fashioned way.
So would that be 125?
How many times 16 going to 125?
Wait. Eight,
right?
Okay.
Okay. And that's the last number is 8, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's look at the 8th Odu.
8th Odu.
Yeah. According to Okanran.
Yeah, it's Okana.
Okay. See, if I say it's also okay. Okay, let's see what we got on it. Let's run it up.
Okay. All right. So let's go. Let's see.
There we go. Come on, there we go. Yeah. Yeah.
So that is Okanran.
So Okanran, yeah. Okay, Okanran Meiji, right. Come on. So
It warns against chaos and need for caution. External factors influenced by Okanran may introduce chaos, disruptions, or unpredictable events into a person's life. This requires them to exercise caution, maintain order, and stay grounded. Okanron, also known as Okanron Meiji, in some traditions is foundational Odu in the IFA divination system, often associated with chaos, unpredictability, and the need for caution. Okanron represents the more tumultuous and unpredictable aspects of life, emphasizing the importance of vigilance and foresight. Emphasizes the balance between heart and mind, underscoring the importance of initial expressions of the first word. It delves into themes of purity and the process of cleansing, both physically and spiritually. Birth and concept of abortion are also explored, alongside emotions of sadness and the act of forgiveness. The guiding Orisha here is Eshu, the trickster and the guardian of crossroads. Ibeji, symbolizing duality and balance. Egbe, Abiku, representing spirit children, and combined energy.
I got chills. I got chills because it's what they say. Elegba.
Yep.
What day was he? What day did he born on?
20 on Elegba's day. Yeah.
Yeah. That's Ifa. Ain't gotta say no more. It nailed him.
Combine the energies of Oya and Shango, embodying transformation and power, symbolizing chaos with caution, a lot of chaos. Okamura advises against recklessness. Eshu, the trickster, Orisha, and messenger of the gods, play a significant role here, influenced by Eshu. The Odu is about the hidden heart, focused on emotional and intellectual balance. So I already read that. I'm sorry, my bad. Okay. Chaotic force of life and the necessity of being prepared for unexpected challenges. Caution, strategy, avoidance of hasty decisions, the need to navigate life's uncertainties with careful planning and cautious approach. You got to be really careful,
but
potential turmoil, upheaval, advises individuals to be vigilant to approach the situation. It's saying a lot of a caution, like it's like watch out.
Yeah. And see, with that information, you know how to deal with this dude, right? Now he don't know that by himself, but we know that based on that old dude. That shows you the power of Ifa. Now name me other systems that can come up and give you that data.
So I can tell you, we didn't even go. This is not even a deep breakdown of it either. This one is this one's gonna really break it down here. But you get sometimes if you get the books, they'll even go over more deeper.
Right.
Some of them books, there's a whole probably a book that's Okana has a whole book itself that might be thick. You know what I'm saying? Each Odu could just go on and on and on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So okay.
That's why I appreciate
Okana Mei or Okana Mei is an Odu of pride and disenchantment. Speaks of bad gratitude. People who have the sign are generally haughty. They believe they have everything. They are rogues and businessmen, but they lose by their bad head. They should not ingest alcoholic beverages, and if it is white, much less. Like no white powder, anything. What he be doing? You don't know white powder.
Okay.
But it's already talking about the white powder.
Yeah, there you go. Hey. So it ain't no joke. I tell people,
white powder, bro. Odu Okanameji is a forces and traps. They do not allow anyone to send them. They think they know everything. They do not listen to advice. Nothing is impossible. They have a fiery temperament. They do not quench their thirst until they see what they want. And even given life in order to destroy those who have done something even simply and do not remain calm, proud, they want what they understand to be done in a way and form. They only believe in themselves, and that's why they withdraw their protection. Pride loses them. They believe they are great and powerful, but they do unworthy things, difficult to forgive. They argue and insist. They are always unhappy. Okana Meiji is an Odu of curse and war between religious family and blood. They resort to weapons and iron when they are uncomfortable. Born outside the will is detachment. The virtue of the monkey that turns people upside down. Okay, the derivative of Okana, delivery of the black vampire. The rooster is the king of women. The cricket, low to the world. Deliver the left leg of the animal that is I will kills in the sacrifices. The free hand you were given to prosper. Okay, the dogs and the coyotes and the wolves. The gallbladder. The human word on earth. Triplets. Let the ants come down from heaven to earth. So these are the things that are born in this Odu, I think. Is this what this is? Oh, these are the things that are born in this Odu. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So triplets are born in this Odu. The gallbladder is born in this Odu. So each Odu connects to a body part. Like we said that. So the Okana is the gallbladder. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nomadic people, the houses in villages. The wound healing process was born into this Odu. The Palmareal was born in this Odu. Ants came down. The dogs, coyotes, and wolves. All these things that were born underneath this Odu. And like I said, this is just one small list, you know.
Yeah. And the thing about it, the characteristics and nature of a thing is born into anything that come under that sign. So
okay, here's the Orisha. So in each Odu, an Orisha is born as well. So it was in that Odu that Shango came down was born. So Oshun, represented by the Wolfer, was Ohufin's henchman. So there's like different patakis that are part of this Odu. Right. Oya could not give birth in this Odu. Eshu Okana Meiji was one who accompanied this Odu and Shango to Earth. Okay. The head of the Abejis and their mysteries and secrets are born. The Awo kills his white horse in the swamp. Eshu transforms into a dog. You know, they speak the colors red, black, white, and blue. 3 people die suddenly. The man did not recognize Arumuli for the good he did them in the same way they will do the Awo. Men learn to cook it with fuel, do not cook with charcoal. Conscious as shooter. I don't know. Okay, so let's see. What does it point out? Awos tend not to make things whole. When they say awos, that means, you know, the students. The diseases are physical deformity, contagious diseases, addiction to drugs, narcotics, shortness of breath, ailment in the spine, deafness, stomach illness, kidney problems, high blood pressure, stroke ailments in the belly with possible surgical intervention, leg problems, sexual impotence, pain in the arms. So those are the actual problems that person probably has.
Right.
And so this is just so that's like your individual sign, but there's also like when you get a reading, if this sign comes out, then some of these things might be going on in your life at that moment, you know?
True.
Here the man is a womanizer, and the woman likes him very much. If she's a woman, she likes men very much. Ants should not be killed, as they will live in your home as proof of their development. Okay? Things must be asked to the deity in reverse. You must take care of Eshu as he punishes IFA priests for being disobedient. What you see, do not communicate it so as not to lose grace. Money should not be spent for fun. Keep your nails long. A trip will bring you fortune. Harms turn into good. And the harm they do to him serves him good. A chick must be raised until it's a lucky rooster. What else? And this is like the ceremonies. Yeah. In this Odu, the woman imposes herself. She's a fortune teller, but allows religious rules to be violated, and the man does not occupy his rightful place. So if you're a man, you're not in his right place. You have to take care of the candle, and it can be it can cause deformation. So you get burnt by a candle, all for not hearing advice. So is that like a parable or something? Have to take care of the candle.
Yeah, those are like parables of things. Yeah, but you get the gist of just from that reading alone, just to get you can get an overlay of what this guy is like, up to, can he be trusted or not, all this stuff. And that's what I love about IFA,
Property theft, have to watch out for reptiles. Your enemy is the rain, don't do favors.
Yeah.
He eats who cooked food, does not care about the farmer who produced it. So wow. He eats cooked food, but does not care about the farmer who produced it. Right. Water cannot be tied with a rope. The fishing tackle does not catch a hippopotamus.
These are proverbs or keys of things that goes on. But you get the gist of what happened when she just did Elam, and you can do that with everybody. All you need is the information. See?
The water with which one washes one's hand after it falls to the ground cannot be collected.
That's right.
Happiness is sometimes found in the trash. The head of the man has two opposites: the anger of the heart and the desire for love. Nothing will fall from a well-tied bag if it is turned. So say that's like sayings.
Yeah. But I think we've laid it out. They suggest from that particular
this is still going. It goes. We see this. That's, and like I said, this could go on if you're getting a reading. I mean, and that's not this ain't even half of it, right? To be quite honest. No, it's not even.
No.
Which Orisha deals with technology? Ogun.
That's right.
Ogun is technology, and that's iron right. And
anything deal with iron, knives, or medical, mechanics, anything, he's there. Yeah. So this just give you a gist of just from that information alone. Look how much he was able to decipher or analyze just from dealing with that.
Right.
Yeah.
And if that's not your main Odu and it comes up in the reading, there might be something wrong with your gallbladder.
Yeah.
There might be something in that list of things you got to watch out for: stomach, this, that, the other. Check. Basically, go to the doctor. Go check yourself, make sure everything's okay.
And I can tell everybody, you can take what it's worth or not. You can call it.
No, is Elon Musk an Ogun? I wouldn't know exactly what his actual Orisha is, but I know his Odu is more is Elegba.
Yeah, because the day that he arrived, that's who came in was Issue.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Issue Elegba. That's actually what people think is. They say it's like the devil, but it's really not. It's the darkness.
No, it's not. But
it's chaos, basically chaotic. The chaos.
Yeah.
Energy.
And remember, Yemunjah is like what, the water, the river, things constantly moving. He's nomadic.
And shoot, if you look at the water, you look at the ocean, you don't want to be it's a lot of wild stuff going on in the water.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I did not fool around with the water.
They brought out Yemunjah, Issue, and what else did he bring out?
I think it was Shango.
Shango.
And it did have some Oya involved. Usually, if you don't have Shango, you don't have one without the other.
Yeah, because Oya is the wind and everything. So yeah, but you put these things together and you got something to work with. It gives you an idea of what you're dealing with when you're sitting looking at him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you got to. That way helps you to understand. People say, "Oh yeah, well I know your sign." Okay,
Where is I think that we had a person, a guest is supposed to come up and join us.
Yeah, that was Andrew. He's supposed to come up because he
try to call him and see if he try to see if he's gonna still come up, because I would like to, because we're about to wrap this up, but I definitely wanted to get his story and how and
see if I can put him up. But I appreciate that. Yeah.
So the 6th
again, because he be doing some. No, he's into this real estate thing. He's not answering, so he's probably out and about. He's been real busy. But anyway, what is this?
Who is Akosa Jaye? Who is that? Akosa Jaye. What is that in? What language is that?
I don't know. He might be Ogun. That's not what it was. That's not what it was said. Akosi John. Yeah, might be. I don't know who that is.
Akosa Jay.
Akosa. Maybe she can give us a better understanding, or we can get a better understanding what he's talking about.
Is that like the Ghana president? I don't know. I don't even know who
I
that
don't know.
is.
I mean, it's except for the day you were born and the day you supposed to die.
You
There
are
is
a
no single
predestination.
event it cannot be forecast by IFA and when necessary change. That is, we definitely understand and know that, and that's what we're dealing with a lot of things.
When
But
they check
anyway,
your destiny,
yo,
so that's
yo,
called the Etah.
yeah, IFA, your life destiny, your roadmap, yeah.
Your Etah.
hmm So anyway, that's
Ikopa, Ikopa. But okay, let's see. So this is the 16 truths of E5, just so that we
right.
can be clear.
Yeah,
So there is a single God. There is no devil.
yeah.
Except for the day you were born, the day you're supposed to die. There's no single event in your life that cannot be forecast by EFI and when necessary changed. So what do we mean by that?
That definitely means that once you understand what's wrong, you can make the adjustment, and by making the adjustments, you can change it. It might be something you need to do to get you back on track. You might be off balance. There's something, if I'll tell you something you can do to get yourself back in balance. So that's the thing. Oh, it whatever it is, it can be changed, good or bad. You do the right thing, obedience, follow the instructions, do what necessary to be done, the offerings, and change the outcome.
I think that he was trying to say that he said Icosa is called Ecofa in Cuban Lukumi. They call it Ecofa. That's where you get your first hand of E5. But
Oh,
all right, so and then during that first hand of E5, you get your first reading, your first life reading, and that's the Odu you came onto this earth with. And
but
then when
see,
you
go ahead. But and that's why I was saying I was going to get into it maybe next time we meet. If I enter the new millennium, it's not following the old pigeon in the box. It's a new day now. My suggestion is before you get done anything, we need to know more about you. And by doing a celestial reading like we did just then you know what or medicine prepare him for his journey. You never have to be tied to a particular house, be a universal practitioner of Ifa, practicing with the old dudes and following the instructions of Ifa. Otherwise, other than that, then you might go to Lukumi and what we just did, it might cost you $3,000 or $5,000 to get that done. You understand? So you go in and try to find out what hand. Well, when you get the hand, what are you able to do by getting the hand? What getting that first hand? What does it give you permission to do?
when you get your warriors, so those things that you to be able to work with the shoe and to work with your Risha
Yeah,
or whatever.
when I first went in, I got my warriors the first day I was initiated. I've got my Elikis, I've got my pots, I've got my issue with my cement head, and we fed and everything. And and what they when I got the nuts like about 3 or 4 years later, was already knew what to do when I got it when they did the 16 when they
Mhm.
get them in the mirror and did what they listed, she finally on it, and then I did it again. So but I'm trying to find so when you get these things, what am I supposed to be able to do when I get certain things like you say Ishashi? What am I supposed to be able to do when I get the warriors, when I get the crown, get mounted? Mounting only means possession. So what how does this thing increase my spirituality and my life while I'm able to travel and balance in harmony and fulfill my purpose and destiny? Where does it tell me what my purpose and destiny is? What am I supposed to do?
Well, at the end of the day, it's up to you to like to do the work.
Right, right.
Yeah.
My point exactly. So
You're given the
all
tools, and then it's up to you to figure out how to work them. They don't really. You're not given. Now, sometimes you have a godparent that's going to walk you through it, but sometimes you might have a godparent that makes you learn on your own.
yeah,
The whole
and
objective is, well, here's the tools to work, but I'm not going to tell you. You need to figure it out because it's
it-
your spirituality. It's your religion.
so but I think we need to teach them how to use it, because why am I gonna give something that you're gonna tell you how to use it? That's like me giving you a car and you can't drive. Well, here's the keys, go drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need see that's why it says what it says, education before initiation. I
Yeah.
think it should be the main thing is learning about the person what they arrived, what came over, what came with him, then start building his support group, which would be, the things he needed and teach him how to be able to do simple readings so he can become a priest in his family. So help them, because with all this going on, you know, people are leaving religions and they're trying to find a way to get answers, and they want instant answers. This is what I chose to do. And I'm with my family is, look, I got a grandson and a son that's working now on knowing how to do divination, knowing how to do this. So when my time comes to transition, the family's not left there and deal with issues in the family as well as their own. And I think every family, in order to circle the wagons, we need that protection, because this thing finna get crazy. And the crazy we're gonna need more spiritual enlightenment and things that govern to make us make the right decision. Because with AI and all this stuff, and then all this false stuff being pumped through the air subliminally, so you don't know whether who's talking to you. See? And there's a thing called subliminal seduction. It go right past the conscious, right to the subconscious, lay there, then it goes to the superconscious. You got to doing shit you think is right when it's all wrong. You know. Then we need a way of check and balance. Is this for me or not? When I came along, they would ask IFA, is this for the brother? You know, is this for this individual? And they would throw and they would get the answer. And for a long time, I was not allowed to join nothing. You know, I couldn't join no Elay and no Igbe and all that. It kept me outside. But it kept me learning and digging, you know. So I just don't know. But I'm gonna go in and use this necessary room, taking that LASIK. But sister, we're gonna hang on a minute. I'll be right back.
Okay. So I want to just give like the so okay, so we ended at number 3. Let's keep going. Except for the day you're born, the day you're supposed to die, there's no single event in your life that cannot be forecast by IFA when necessarily change. It is your birthright to be happy, successful, and fulfilled. You should grow and obtain wisdom during the process of life. You are reborn through your blood relatives. Heaven, Orun, is home, and earth is the marketplace. We are in constant passage between the two. You are part of the universe in a literal, not a figurative way. You must never initiate harm to another human being. You must initiate. Okay, that ain't saying that if somebody hurts you that you can't, you know what I'm saying, take care of it, whatever you got to do. You just must never initiate. That means start some stuff. You must never attempt to harm the universe of which you are a part. Your temple and spiritual capacities must work together. You are born with a specific path. It is your goal to travel it. Divination provides the roadmap. Our ancestors exist and must be honored. Sacrifice guarantees success. The Orisha live within us. You need have no fear. And those are the 16 truths of IFA. And then I wanted to also really get into really quick let me see. How to, well, there's an ancestor shrine, but there was this one thing that explains. All right, so Odu, mother of creation. Can you guys see this? Okay, I'm going to read this because this kind of explains what the Odu is, all right? So let me go through it. Let me make it bigger so you can read it. 2. We're about to wrap this up pretty soon, like about after I read this, so we're gonna wrap everything up. Get like some final words, okay? So Odu, the mother of creation, the great darkness. The duality of contraction and expansion are the 2 fundamental laws that gave birth to all of creation. It was from the unknown realm of triple darkness that all known matter of light and dark energy particles were born. So above, so below. All of the 16 major and 240 minor Odu symbolize this spiritual phenomenon, as all of the Odu markings represents elements of darkness, contraction, and or light expansion. Oyeku is the owner of Ogbe, so the darkness owns the light. Energy is born from the unknown darkness of space and takes form of an egg-shaped structure called a sphere or spiro. This sphere consists of two polar opposites with 4 portals on the right male side and 4 portals on the left female side. These 8 portals are the link between the 4th dimension of matter, time and space, and the 5th dimension of the invisible realm of creation. Mathematically, there are 256 ways in which energy can pass from the invisible to the visible dimension as these 2 dimensions of 4 polar opposites intersect. As a correlation, each of the 256 Odu Ifa patterns have 2 legs representing the polar opposites found in all energy patterns, 1 leg on the right male side, and with 4 markings representing the portals of darkness/light, and 1 leg on the left female side with 4 markings representing darkness/light. According to the ancient wisdom of our ancestors, Ofun Meiji, the 16th Odu, is symbolized as the cosmic egg of creation, original energy sphere. This Odu pattern was the first pattern born out of the great darkness into light of creation. It is from the Ofun Meiji that all other 15 major Odu patterns of darkness and or light receive their formations and meanings. Each one of the 16 Odu combined with each other of the other 15 Odu patterns for a total of 16 times 6 equals 256. Ofun Meiji, as illustrated by the 3-dimensional energy pattern of the cosmic egg, represents the origin of energy formation, duality of the polar opposites, cardinal points, of universal direction, and 4 portals of darkness/light representing birth of creation. Ifa is Ilari Pin, the witness of faith. That's what Ifa. Ifa is the witness of faith.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, as we can now clearly see, Odu Ifa, divine mystery system designed by our ancient ancestors millions of years before the birth of modern sciences, directly parallels and symbolizes the most recent scientific discoveries relating to how energy was birthed into the universe. Hence, due to this understanding, we must further conclude that our current knowledge is limited, and as such, we have no other choice but to rely on the proven spiritual Scientology developed by the ancients. We must learn to use this information as a study guide in the understanding of ourselves and the universe from which we are literally, not just figuratively, a part of.
That's it in a nutshell, my sister. That's it in a nutshell.
You know, and that was a mouthful right there. That's a lot.
That's a mouthful right there. You know, that should remove all doubt. But yeah, we can go ahead and wrap it up. It's been a pleasure.
And to be quite honest, like when I heard how complex this whole thing was, I was like, wow. Because you know, when they think about Africans, you're not thinking that people are like on high level thinking, like, you know what I'm saying?
Trust me.
You know, I was surprised. I'm like, what? People are on talking about what? Mathematics and science and that. What? We have this system. Why are we guessing when we don't have to guess?
Yeah, and that's why I tell people, this is why I love EFA. If I got a situation I need to discuss, I go on the divine, I get my answer right there. I got to wait for some kind of sign, lightning bolt to hit all this. I got my answer right there, and I can move on it. And so far, it has not let me down yet. That's so phenomenal. Even when I wasn't expecting it, the answer shows up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's when you tapped into that frequency. So I have no fear, because whatever they're trying to create in this dimension, IFA got a handle on it.
That's shame. At least when it comes to my life, you know.
This is Andrew Red. Let me see what he's saying.
Yeah, because I wanted to get his.
I'm not yet at home, driving right now, listening to the. He say he's driving and he's listening to the show.
Okay.
So, let me ask him, do he want to come on? Hey Andrew, do you want to come on?
Well, yeah, I think he wanted to give like a testimony about the things that he's been doing.
He's got a powerful testimony that he was talking about yesterday, and man, I told him you need to come on and share it with somebody listening, let them know how IFA is and how accurate it is and how it has affected his life. And we're going to talk about the impact that in this day and time, because it ain't like IFA is in some pigeonhole back in yesteryear and it's stuck. It's steady evolving, and we got to allow it to evolve, because in 2000, the portal opened on 21st of, it says IFA is for the new millennium for this diaspora. We keep looking to Africa when it says this is for this diaspora. We got to pull this thing together, because we're more closely able to unite than all the 54 countries over in Africa. If we can unite here on this and this atmosphere, it will draw others to come together. But long we divide and argue or with this belief and that belief and this religion and this hat and that hat and these shoes, the world it's as confused. But when we unite and come together, look what happened. That's what I liked about when talking to the brother last night. The story of Milk and Ben, right? How these African warriors came together. So he said he's not in a good spot. So we'll try to get him the next time. He says he's not in a good spot. He's in the car.
Okay.
But I want to say this to a young man who was on last night. He's got a good idea about it, but if we can show that throughout history, how we came together, unified, and the world prospered and moved forward when we unified. When we didn't, how it falls apart. That's why I sent you a clip on the blacks who ran Louisiana in 1868. To remind you, in 1868, the black was just coming out of slavery, right? And then in 1864, to Louisiana, they abolished slavery in Louisiana. But I wish we could play that clip. I sent it to you in Messenger, and the brother telling you why we're not using that same energy that we had back then to build and come forward out of destroying each other. I think if you look at that clip, I would love to see if you could pull that up, because that's our problem. He says, you know, my baby was talking about the school he's building this. We're waiting around for somebody to do what we need to do for ourselves. We need to learn how to come together in spite of our differences to build our nation here on this planet and show the world it can be done. Because we can't do nothing together. That's the biggest lie I've been told. We just got to find a common denominator to work on, you know. And IFA can do that, because with a guy like IFA, we won't miss, because we can always ask our ancestors and the Orishas, what's our next move? Or should we not do this? And how should it be carried out? Everybody else is doing it. The Jews use them even to this day. They tell that lie, ain't they do. That's how they make decisions. They go in the back room and they study these things and they divine.
I can't find the video you're talking about. So.
Okay, but anyway, but we can try that again. But we lacking cultural cohesiveness, and that we need to work on, sister. And with that being said, that's about where I stand right about now.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I hope that everybody got something out of this today. You know, we really take the time out to teach, and I hope that you guys we cover a bunch of different topics and subjects.
Well, you know, that's us. But like don't believe nothing we say. Do the research. Yeah,
and so it's a little bit of a current events that's going on. And then a little bit of like, okay, now what do we do with it from an IFA standpoint? That's kind of how we're going.
Yeah, but go ahead.
We do this every Sunday, so you know, please come back. Thank you. Oh, thank you, King Isa. Hopefully, King Isa. Oh,
yeah, come back and give us a donation.
Yeah, make sure you guys listen. Let me just say this: is that you know we accepting donations. Here's my cash
app, right? Yeah.
Please send donations. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you for watching. I hope that you know this was a good show. I hope that you guys were able to like sit through it and really get some interesting things. If you guys have any questions, please send them to me. Hit me on IG. And on my IG, I'm at DJ Genesis Detroit on IG too.
Or you can give me a call.
Or you can give Baba a call as well.
I'm not scared. Call me.
So you can reach out to me on here. Give Baba a call. I forgot. Did I even put your number up there last week? I probably forgot. I'm sorry, Baba.
That's 318.
If I lose you.
Oh, that's my cash app. And then you can call me at 318-341-2160. That's my cash app for Baba Yashabiyah, and that's my phone number. You can call me and we can discuss, go through and check and analyze things. Promise you, I won't feed you no wolf cookies.
Right. No wolf cookies over here. We We are not over here trying to lie to nobody, you know.
Yeah. No,
So that's a lot of energy to sit down and just be lying, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, a lot of wasted.
A lot of time to sit down and waste lying. So this is, you know, we're really trying to help people to like find their destiny and be pointed in the right direction. So with all that being said, I'm gonna play the money mantra, guys, and you know,
gotta have it.
I want y'all to learn the song. I want y'all to start
put it to work.
Yeah, make this song, and then tell me if y'all start listening to this song. Tell me if y'all got anything when you listen to it. If you made some money.
Yeah, so I got some stuff that would knock your socks off.
Right? Yeah, he said that he didn't play that song and people gave him some money and everything like that.
Baby, the boy was like, oh boy, I thought it would never happen, but it did. It did.
All right, I see you later, Baba.
All right, well,
I am blessed to make money, money making money, money making money, money making money, money making money, manifest making money, money making money, money making money, money making money. I ain't stressed, making money, money making money, money making money, money making money. Gratitude is my attitude. I'm making money move.